This winter has seen some of the worst flooding in living memory. Thousands of homes have been flooded and livelihoods have been destroyed across the country.
I've never seen anything like it.
Diabolical.
All around the UK, people are trying to recover from the devastation. The residents of Bacton on the North Norfolk coast are attempting to rebuild their town.
Yeah, it was, because I've lived here about 12 years now. It's the worst I've ever seen it. I've seen a caravan go across the road. Yeah, it will get worse, definitely.
One man who has seen it all firsthand is local flood warden Peter Shepherd.
I mean, it was horrendous on the night. People I was working with had to be rescued. They definitely needed rescuing. Anyone who actually saw it at close quarters would realise just how much energy there is in wave power. As people are affected personally, then it does change their attitude.
Local MP Norman Lamb believes that ordinary people are paying the price for society's mistake.
It's not right that people who happen to be on the front line at the moment, like my constituents in Walcott, it's not right that they should suffer the full impact of climate change if it's actually all of us who are causing the problem. I do believe climate change is real. Now that's just a natural phenomenon that climate moves in cycles. But we now, I think, have lots of evidence that man's influence is having an impact on top of those natural cycles of climate.
Some people believe that the climate change has nothing to do with any earthly activity.
And the Bible tells us quite clearly there's a negative influence controlling world affairs. The whole world is lying in the power of the wicked one. Jesus is saying that at the moment in time the world isn't under the control of God, it is under his adversary, Satan, the devil. So we can see that man under this negative influence is demonstrating greed, and that has a negative effect upon, of course, our climate and the ecological system that we're living in.
But the Jehovah's Witnesses aren't the only ones looking to the heavens for a solution.
Chemtrailing will go real conspiracy theory, and you see the planes chucking out all over the sky. It's basically weather control if you read into the conspiracy theories, and that's basically what's everything up fundamentally.
Chemtrail theorists believe that the recent storms have been caused by government weather manipulation, spread by the trails of passing planes.
Fundamentally, we will be Norwich under the sea, Atlantis, all over again.
However, for the general public, there's no consensus.
At one point people would go global warming. Well, it's freezing at the moment, so that's out, isn't it?
I think there's just lots of things. It's just weather. I don't think there's any one particular thing that's caused it.
The world changes, and the Ice Age came about without any kind of industrial revolution beforehand.
From my limited knowledge, it's something to do with a sort of passage of air going through over America and through the Atlantic or something like that.
Corinne Le Curé is a professor of climate change science at the world-renowned University of East Anglia.
They're gases that are emitted as we burn fossil fuel, essentially. The surface emits heat, it's trapped by the little gases, it's re-emitted in all directions, and it causes the planet to warm. We have measurements of the change in temperature around the world, particularly the last 50 years. The higher the level of climate change we allow, the more risk we take for these very extreme events. We have the means, we have the technology. Now we know what to do, we just have to do it, so why not?
If we don't act, the future could be very stormy.
Earlier on today, a woman rang us and asked if the world was ending. Well, if you're watching, worry, it is. As you can see, there is a smattering of tornadoes travelling along the country, leaving death and destruction, intensifying in the north. But don't worry, if you're living in the south of the country, you only have to contend with 8-foot floods. Towards the east, we can expect widespread drought and golf ball-sized hail. So remember to bring your umbrellas if you're planning to venture out. We have a hurricane expected to hit the west coast later in the day, where the few survivors of Wales are expected to have made their last attempt to flee. Overnight, temperatures are expected to drop to -74 degrees as the cold fronts come in bringing even more blizzards, which are predicted to last for the foreseeable future. If you have been affected by the Scotland tsunami, we regret to say that there is no help and the government don't care about you. So remember to hoard your supplies because the apocalypse has arrived. Good night.